You might feel like you're doing mutual fund investing wrong if you aren't sweating over every market move and treating your portfolio like a full-time job. Influencers often push an exhausting checklist: track daily movements, wait for perfect calendar dates, and hoard cash to catch every dip. This is a stark contrast to the standard, boring approach most people start with: setting up a single, automated monthly deduction and forgetting about it entirely. The practical question is whether all that exhausting, complex maneuvering actually generates a mathematically higher return. Let's evaluate these strategies on an effort versus impact chart. The horizontal axis measures effort. The vertical axis measures returns. A monthly SIP lands in the low-effort, high-impact quadrant. A daily SIP pushes you into high-effort territory. Before you commit your mental bandwidth to these complex schedules, we need to look at the historical data to see if that extra effort is actually rewarded with higher wealth. The theory behind daily or weekly systematic investment plans is that investing more frequently will capture daily market volatility, giving you better price averaging over time. But this chart shows the actual 10-year returns for daily, weekly, and monthly SIPs across the Nifty 50, mid-cap, and small-cap indices. Notice how the daily, weekly, and monthly bars are virtually identical in height across all three categories. Because the difference is just a fraction of a percent over a decade, increasing your investment frequency yields zero real financial advantage. What it does increase is your workload. Daily and weekly SIPs generate hundreds of manual transaction records, creating a cumbersome nightmare when it's time to calculate your taxes upon redemption. A very similar myth surrounds the calendar. Many investors believe that delaying their investment to a mathematically optimal mid-month or end-of-month date will boost their returns. Long-term historical data proves there is no significant difference between investing on the 1st, the 15th, or the 30th. The best date is entirely subjective to your cash flow. Aligning a single monthly SIP with your payday automates your financial discipline without sacrificing a single percentage point of potential profit. Then there is the highly tempting strategy of buying the dip, pausing your regular investments and holding cash until the market drops by a specific margin, like 2%. Historically, if you execute this strategy perfectly, it does generate a slightly higher return than a standard continuous SIP, but the practical requirements to achieve that slight edge are grueling. You have to actively monitor the stock market every single day, keeping your cash completely idle while you try to navigate unpredictable future market drops. This matrix outlines the fatal flaw for regular investors. While the theoretical return looks good, the practical requirement is perfection. If you miss the dip because you were busy at work, or you simply lack cash when the drop happens, the entire strategy falls apart. A much more realistic alternative is to maintain an automated monthly SIP for your core wealth creation. Then, if you happen to have surplus cash on hand during a market correction, you can manually buy the dip as a bonus. Market timing looks incredibly simple in a spreadsheet of past data, but in real life, it demands the effort of a second job with a high risk of execution failure. This brings us to a final common question. Is an SIP definitively better than dropping a large lump sum of money into the market all at once? We can map this out on a comparison matrix based on market conditions. A lump sum mathematically dominates in a continuous, long-term upward bull market. In a rising market, a lump sum allows your entire capital base to compound from the lowest possible initial entry point, whereas a SIP averages your buying cost upward over time. However, a SIP mathematically dominates in a highly volatile or steadily falling market. Continuous, smaller SIPs allow you to buy more mutual fund units when prices are cheap, effectively dragging your average cost per unit down during the correction. The relative performance of these two strategies is determined by the market's trajectory and your own comfort with price swings. Instead of trying to predict whether the broader market will go up or down, you should dictate your strategy by analyzing your personal source of capital. This flowchart breaks it down based on where your money comes from: regular monthly income or a sudden windfall. If your capital comes from a regular monthly salary, the best choice is an automated monthly SIP scheduled after payday. This path minimizes mental friction, guarantees consistency, and keeps your wealth building completely passive. If your capital is a large windfall, like an inheritance or a bonus, your strategy splits based on your confidence level. You can invest it as a lump sum if your investment horizon is long and you can stomach short-term price drops. But if market volatility causes you anxiety, break that money into a staggered SIP over a few months. For those who still want to optimize, keep your core automated and reserve manual market timing only for extra disposable cash. Keep in mind, all mutual fund investments carry market risks, regardless of the strategy you choose. Please read all scheme-related documents carefully. True financial growth is not achieved by outsmarting daily charts with complex tricks. It comes from choosing the simplest, most consistent strategy that lets you live your life while your money works quietly in